everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Phenomenon with Ebony Amber. Halloween edition. As you can see, I'm all ready for the spooky season. I got my costume on. I don't know what this is, but I'm feeling it. I'm going with it. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. In fact, I got married on Halloween, and this year will be our 13th anniversary. Lucky 13! Today's Paranormal Phenomenon episode has 3 amazing stories about how the spirit world can connect with the physical world. Whether it be through sound or visual or physical manipulation of an object, the 3 experiencers you're going to hear from today have very unique encounters. All right, and we're going to jump right in, but first I wanted to tell you guys about an amazing little project I've been working on for quite some time. It's my first children's story called French Fry and Bendy Boy's Pugtacular Christmas. Readers will join French Fry and Bendy Boy as they celebrate the holiday season, peeking in as they perform traditions such as baking cookies and making gingerbread houses. And here they are, French Fry and Bendy Boy, my little fur babies. I love them so much. French Fry and Bendy Boy's Pugtacular Christmas will be available November 1st on Amazon, so be sure to check it out for $12.99. How can you go wrong? And everybody loves a pug, right? I mean, they're the best. So without further ado, go grab your pumpkin spice latte, get a blanket, a flannel one, and cozy in to hear 3 spooktacular stories with me.
Hello, my name is Krizta, and I'm happy to share a paranormal story with you, one of many that have happened over my life. I lived in this place quite a few years ago, and I had lived there for about 10 years. And when I first took this apartment, the owner, who was a family friend, said, Krizta, you know, feel free to do whatever you want at this place, paint it whatever color you'd like to. Just the attic is my mother's place. She used to go up there and sew and have her private time up there. So, you know, do whatever you want down here, but up there is, you know, Mary's space. It's okay. Never thought anything of it. So I had, at the time, 6 cats, and 5 of them were black, and 1 was gray. And Mew Mew, the gray one, kind of got picked on quite a bit, and I decided to put in some cat doors and allow the cats to have more space to roam, and allowing Mew Mew to go up to the attic. And I did this for years, never thinking anything of it, being mindful that it was Mary's space, but it's okay. She's gone. She's passed now, and I live here, and we live here. And one day I decided to put in a litter box on the 3rd floor. Just put one up there. And that night I went to bed, and at about 12:30 I was woken with the sound of crashing glass. Alarming crash, and I flew to the source of the sound, and I found my partner, Matt, bloody, and all my pretty glass things smashed on the bathroom floor. And I was immediately triggered. What happened? What did you do? What have you done? And he said, Krizta, I was in the living room on the computer when all of a sudden a massive wind came through this like 12 by 12 window, crank window, and wiped out everything on its sill. And as he came into the bathroom to see what the hell happened, he slid on glass, and it like cut into his toe, almost like into his pinky toe. That's how I found him. We both were stunned because we had lived there for quite some time, and again, nothing but peaceful atmosphere, never any vibes. Were weird. we went to bed, and the next morning I woke up and our second bedroom was outfitted with kind of like California closets, which are, you know, pretty much at least 1 to 2 walls of open shelves. Decent size, probably like 16 inches deep and at least 12 to 14 inches tall. And I opened the door to get dressed into the walk-in closet, the spare bedroom. And every hair kind of went up on my body as I noticed that one of my shelves was completely knocked. In other words, all the clothes that were in my shelves were completely knocked out onto the floor. And I alarmed Matt. I got him up. I'm like, you're never going to believe. And we just stood there. We're like, how did this happen? Like, the door was shut. There's no way any of the cats could have done this. I mean, even if they wanted to burrow in to kind of cuddle if they were closed in there. So I stacked everything. I refolded and I stacked. And then I tried to put my hand in and around to try to figure out how much strength and power and pressure I would need to completely clear out one of those shelves. And it was paranormal. And I immediately thought to myself, Mary. I put that litter box in her space and she was like, get that out. So I immediately went up there and took it out. Not a problem. Peace. So, anyway, happy Halloween.
Okay, so I'm gonna try my very best to do the video. I'm actually at a photo shoot, but I really wanted to be a part of this project. So here I am in the hallway. Hey, reflection. Okay, let me stop playing. So my story is basically, it goes back from when I was a child, maybe 7 to 9. I'm not sure which age I was specifically. I believe it actually lasted from 7 to 9, if I'm not mistaken. But basically it was a Little Mermaid picture that I had in my room. And every night, this thing in my head at the time, it was a devil, because, you know, the horns, red, you know, that whole thing that everyone says the devil would come out of the picture. And basically he would go to my brother and tell me to go with him, or, you know, he would do some harm to my brother. This happened for a few months or years, and I would always say no. And, you know, it just got really weird. It felt like he was more intentionally trying to get physical, like trying to break through the barrier. And I remember one day I said, you know, I'm just going to go with him because I felt like he was gonna cause harm to my brother. So the night I decided to actually go with him, my cat, Fiji, I will never ever forget her. She was amazing. She was off, and you guys can't see it because I have makeup on, but there's a scar I have right here. You can't see it. I have a scar on my face because that night when I decided to go with him, she scratched me, and I have a scar till this day because of that. I never ended up going with him, and ironically, I feel like any bad thing that happens to my brother is my fault, which I know makes no sense, but that's just what I feel. I felt like I should have just went with him. Yeah, and that was my kind of weird thing that I would go through, and it felt so real. I know for a fact it's real. Like, I know what I felt in the crazy. But yeah, till this day, I always see this weird shadow, tall, I can't see the face, and a hat. And my sister actually witnessed that shadow with me, and she believes me now. So yeah, I have a bunch of crazy stories, but I'm actually gonna head back into the studio to finish up. So there it is. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael. I am from Fort Worth, Texas. My story is a two-part story that I think may or may not be interconnected. That's for you to judge. First part takes place in 1994, specifically December of 1994. I know it's December because my grandmother was staying with us and I was staying in my brother's bedroom. Little backstory on this: whenever she came to town, she would sleep in my bedroom and then I would stay in my brother's bedroom. We would alternate. One night I would sleep on the floor, he would sleep in his bed, and vice versa. Well, this particular night I was sleeping in his bed, and something you should know about my brother is he is one of the many people who has to have music to fall asleep. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night because I sensed something was off. It was quiet, which doesn't make sense because there should be music playing, and at the time my brother was into some really dark, like heavy metal stuff. So I wake up and I feel there's something, I feel off because number one, there's no music playing, and it's unusually quiet. Even for living out in the country, which if you live out in the country, you know that it's never just quiet. It was really, really quiet, and it was kind of odd. I look around once my eyes adjust to the dark, and I see what I swear is an old woman walking in front of the bed out the door. Not only is this an old woman, it is a green, she has a green glow about her. So I think, okay, that's a little odd, but that's all right because it's just my grandmother coming in to turn the stereo off, or my mother coming to turn the stereo off, both of who are shorter in stature. So I didn't think anything about it. I went back to sleep. Woke up the next morning and I went and inquired about who came in and turned off the radio in the middle of the night. Well, I went to my grandmother first because she's shorter and it would make sense for her to come in and turn the radio off. It's not exactly her cup of tea, the music, let's put it that way. And so I asked her and she said, no, it was not me. So I go, okay. I go to my mother and ask her, did you come in and turn the radio off last night? She said, no. Went and asked my dad. Say it was an old woman, but if I was half asleep, I could have been seeing things. I said, no, nobody turned the radio off. I asked my brother, nope. And the radio just does not turn off on its own because he did not have a timer set up on it. So I always wondered about that. As I wondered, was there something there? Was it in my imagination? Was I hearing dark, ominous lyrics and having a manifestation in my head that I was seeing a ghost walk out of our bedroom? I like to believe that it was a ghost. Not everybody agrees with that, and that's okay. That's what I love about this series is you get to hear these stories from people, and in their mind, to them, it's totally real. But it's always up for discussion and question, and I enjoy that. So thank you, Ebony, for this. The second part of this story takes place in 2006. I had just moved back to Missouri, got into my apartment, got settled in. A couple of months later, I start hearing things at night. And this apartment, there's one apartment upstairs and two apartments downstairs, so a total of 3 tenants. At the time, I was the only tenant, so there was nobody else there. I start hearing things at night. It doesn't concern me so much. It's not bothersome. Doesn't interrupt anything. But it starts getting weirder and weirder, and it starts getting more and more noticeable, like to the point where it's keeping me up at night. And what I'm hearing is an old woman singing. And I know it's hard to describe, but it was almost like a haunting, what you would think of when you hear a haunting melody. So I hear this woman all the time. I'm hearing her every single night singing. And it doesn't completely bother me, but it does a little bit because I don't know where it's coming from, because there's no one below me. I'm the only one person. I don't listen to music at night. I have to have complete silence. So I wonder to myself, as I was thinking about this presentation, I was wondering, was it the music woman? Was it the music lady? Did she somehow find me from Carthage, Texas in 1994 to Warrensburg, Missouri? Maybe she was trying to keep me up with her music the way I kept her up with ours. Who knows? It could be, again, it could have all been my imagination. But I'd like to think that it was the music lady coming back to see me. She never did me any harm. She never bothered me in any way. I kind of got used to the music, and it helped me fall asleep. So thank you, music lady. So that's my story. Thank you for having me on the show, and best of luck. Blessed be to all of you, and I look forward to hearing all of your stories.
Thanks again to everybody who tuned in, and a big thank you to my experiencers. I always love hearing your stories. And don't forget, my favorite kind of normal is the paranormal. So if you have a story to share, find me on Instagram or Facebook. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and hopefully I'll be able to include you in my next episode. All right, everybody, stay strange.